really like using this piece here. And the reason I do is because it's already sanded and it's so beautiful. When you stain it, it makes the wood pop. One sheet will make 2 sets. One thing that you need to do is come to Home Depot and let them cut your wood. I never cut my plywood. I let them cut it. You want to cut it 2 foot by 4 foot. A nice selection of handles. You definitely want to put a handle on them because they do get heavy transporting to your tailgate parties. I usually get 2 boxes of screws. These are for the plywood into the 2x4, and then longer ones you get for 2x4 into the other 2x4. Stain to show off that beautiful wood. You also need to get polyurethane for the shine. Keep track with the cost of everything so you know why they sell so high. You also need to get one of these plastic wood. I put it inside the holes and any cracks that your plywood might have. I always go with the quart of paint. Although as many Tennessee boards as I have done, I should go buy a gallon of the orange. 2x4s, you want to get 96 inch. You will need 4 of them. I also get them to cut them in half. Okay, got home and screwed on the 2x4s. No cutting necessary. But on the ends, because of the width of the saw blade when they cut your plywood, it's never the same right here. So you can't pre-cut these. So I'm going to measure the end here on both of them and then cut my 2x4 to fit right in the bottom and the top. Okay, I use my smaller screws for the 2x4s and plywood, and then my longer screws so I can use it 2x4 to 2x4 on the side. When you put your screws in, you want to countersink them so they're sunk in, so you can put your putty inside there and you won't even be able to tell that you have screws in the board. Okay, when making your hole, you're going to come across 12 inches because it's half of the 24-inch wide, and the center of your circle is 9 inches down from the top. I drilled a hole so I can get my saw in there and cut the circle out. Okay, we got the holes cut out. So now I'm going to take this and fill the holes where the screws are. I'll fill it, sand it, and then fill it again and sand it. You want to get sandpaper that's not too rough so everything will be smooth. And then I'll sand the hole so everything will be smooth. Rounded off my corners. Now I gotta get all the sawdust off of it so we can paint it. Okay, we're ready to put some stain on it. I dampened my rag a little bit so I can get all the sawdust off of it so I won't have any sawdust crumbs in my stain and paint. Okay, now I'm going to take my cheap Dollar Tree masking tape and I'm going to find the middle of my circle and come down and make my V where my dog is going to be. Taking a rag and going in the down position. You're always going to get a little bit of stain underneath your tape, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be painted a different color and it will cover over it. Since this is so light, I will probably put 2 coats on. Still wet, so it looks like it's streaking. When it dries, it'll all be the same color. The hard part is drawing something on such dark wood. What sucks ass is you pay so much for a beautiful piece of wood and they put a sticker on it. There's where the sticker shows because I used dark wood. I sanded over that so much and it still shows where the sticker was. That's where the price tag was. The scan mark. I see where the sticker was. Hopefully it won't dry streaky like that. But it really doesn't matter because the dog is going to be a good size. After you get your subject or your logo drawn on, go ahead and tape off so you can paint whatever color you choose to paint. I have white on right now because I'm going to make a football field and I think the white will be a lot easier to do my lines. Okay, I'm going to choose these numbers because my yard line is going to be as big as the masking tape. So I'm going to tape off every 10 yards with the masking tape and use these numbers. I'll pencil it in on the white and then I'll paint the green around it. Okay, I got all my yard lines taped off. And now I'm going to take the masking tape and come down through here so I don't get any green on my wood grain. Okay, because the field is a dark green and I won't be able to draw on it, I went ahead and drew what I wanted on the white, and I'm going to bring the green up to my drawings. Well, it was a little bit harder. I think on the next board, I'm going to go ahead and do the green, roll the green, and then right on top of it, because it was really hard doing it this way. Okay, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If you don't want to use the compass or any other kind of tool to make your circle, find something 6 inches to make your circle, because your hole has to be 6 inches. I am going to make sure that this is white, so it is actually 8 inches to go around my 6 inches. So I will trace this and make sure my circle is white. Now, because there is a lot of orange in this particular logo, I am going to do the outline in black so you can see where the t-shirt and pants separate. Now, while you're waiting for your paint to dry, you can always find something to do. Where you took your tape off and the green got underneath onto your white, you get your white out and go back over it and do some touch-ups. Like I said, you're always going to have paint get underneath your tape. That's why I love painting, because you can always go over everything. On the wood, you screw up, you're in trouble. So this is how I'm going to measure the side. I need a little piece of green grass over here. So lay down a piece of tape and one next to it. And then I'll take this piece up, and this will be my green. The same on the other side. That way you get a nice straight line. Now we're ready to go green in the end zone. Okay, now I'm going to show you how it's so easy to do a checkerboard. Lay your first piece of tape down and then put another piece right next to it. This piece in the middle right here will be your measuring. That's what you're going to measure by. So you'll pick the middle piece up, lay it down, Take your biddle again. I'm going to keep doing that. And then we're going to go this way the same way. Taking my middle piece up. Measure. That's why I use cheap masking tape, because I really go through a lot of it. I left my circle right here, ink, so I don't paint any orange or white over that, because this whole circle is going to be white. Okay. We're going to go ahead and paint all this orange and then pull the tape up and put it on top of the orange when it dries. That's the reason why I went ahead and painted the whole thing white, so I don't have to go through and do the white and the orange, because the white's already finished. And don't worry if you get a little bit of paint underneath your tape, because we're going to go back and touch everything up. It's like this right here needs to be touched up. But this is the easiest way to make squares. Okay, when you pull all your tape off, this is what it looks like. Now you're going to go through and put your tape here. Cover up all the orange. Still some minor touch-ups, but I'm ready to start the other board. Now on this board, I'm going to go ahead and paint all this green. Use a roller. And then when I do my checkerboard, I'm also going to use a roller. Get to do it all over again. You don't want to shake the can because it will make bubbles. So get you a stir stick and gently stir it, because your bubbles will be on the board and you will be able to feel it. I generally do at least 3 to 5 coats. I'll probably do 6 on this particular board. I'm in the back room where I can shut the door. And this tile is going to be replaced, so it doesn't matter if I get it on the floor. I have a little heater behind me, and it's not directly on it, so it's not blowing any dust on it. But usually I go across, but this time I've decided to come all the way down, because for some reason I get it on too thick when I go side to side, So I'll work my way all the way down in one stroke and then come all the way back and come down again. And I don't care who you are, you're always going to get bubbles. Okay, now my favorite part. And yes, that is sarcasm. I'm going to put the legs on. I come down 4 inches from the top here. And from your front here, from here to here is 175. So drill your hole, and I come down here 1.5 and drill the hole, and then round off. Some people angle it, round it, whatever. You want to be able to have it where it will sit and slide and not get caught on your board there. This particular leg here is 19 inches, and we'll probably cut off about 5 inches of it. I'm going to show you an easy way to do your legs. Okay, you want to find a table or even your deck, something that's big enough to hold the cornhole board and be able to have your leg come off. I actually took everything off the top of my poker table because it's the only thing I have that's actually big enough to hold it. So you're going to have your leg coming over and pull it back as far as it'll go. Nice and level with this right here. I'm using a paint can because it's what I can use for, it'll be 12 inches off the ground. So anything you can put right here to have this 12 inches off the ground will be fine. So you're going to take a pencil and mark right here, because that's where you're going to cut your leg.
I could not find the answer to your question.
I'm not talking to you. And you make sure it's not wobbly, and it's not. Now take them off, paint them orange. Dollar store special roller. You can see where I've done this before. The thing you're going to do is put your handle on while you're waiting on your legs to dry. Home Depot, you've seen the price, $3 something I believe. Your board is 4 foot long, so go about 2 foot. Screw your handle in. Putting a handle on her board. Totally done with these finally. Everything's finished, so my hardware, you don't want a screw that's big enough to go through both 2x4s. I put a big washer on this side, and then I put the smaller washer in the inside here. Put them in. You want to do it hand tight so they're easy to move in and out. If you use a wrench or something, then it's going to be too hard for the legs to come out. So hand tight is good enough. There you go. Now you know how to build cornhole set. This is actually a Christmas present for some awesome friends of mine. And I've already started my last one for my best friend. Actually, I'll probably make me a set of Jeep Sahara. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment and I'll try to answer.